Moi University is a distinguished academic institution in Kenya, located in the picturesque town of Eldoret. The university is home to the Margaret Thatcher Library, a tribute to the late British Prime Minister, which opened its doors to the public on November 2nd, 1994.
The Children's Library was part of the whole Margaret Thatcher Library complex. We got a grant from the British government in 1988 to build a library for the university. And one of the sections of the library was to house the children's section.
The Children's Library was built to inspire and serve the children's faculty who had relocated to Kisses, as well as the surrounding community.
The main reason why the library for children was started was to act as an outreach to the community around, because it was realized that many schools, or nearly all schools around, were not having libraries. And so, as a way of community outreach, it was decided that it would be a good idea if we started a children's section within Margaret Thatcher Library. Another reason was that many staff members of Moi University had relocated with their families here when the university was started. And as you know, this university was started from scratch. It was built as a new university, unlike in the past where existing colleges are upgraded. So there were no institutions and facilities around. So as a way of motivating staff to work with the university without worrying about where their children would get the education and the information, it was decided that we have a children's library, whereby as the staff report to work, their children can also have a place to read. And the complement to that was the primary school, which had been started earlier for staff. Actually, Moi University Primary School was initially started as a primary school for staff of Moi University before they opened the doors for the children from the surrounding community. So those were the main reasons why we decided to have a children's section here. Children's library mainly serves primary level, secondary level, and even kindergarten. I would say we have not yet adapted to the CBC system. Reason being, even in our schools, they are in the process of supplying equipment and learning materials for the CBC. Like very few schools have gotten the required texts. So what we want to do, once the CBC has stabilized in primary and more so in secondary, because it has just been launched in secondary, then we'll be able to get information on the materials that are used at those levels, and then we make an effort to acquire them here.
The library boasts a separate audiovisual section, distinct from the main library, which houses tapes, CDs, and other resources for the visually impaired, in addition to a TV screen for displaying audiovisual material.
The arrangement is this. If you are a member of staff and you are registered as a user of the library, then you can borrow for your child. Okay? You can borrow, you can use your card to borrow for your child or for your relative, so long as you are a member of staff who is registered as a user of the library. But for children from the community, they cannot borrow because they are not registered as users, but they can come and read in the library, but they cannot borrow. So if you want to borrow, you borrow for your child, for example, or your brother. If you have a small brother and you are working here, you are registered as a library user, you can use your card to borrow a children's library for your child or for your brother. But at the end of the day, in case that book gets lost or gets mutilated, it is you who will be accountable, not the child who was reading the book at home. So that is the arrangement.
Despite the obstacles, the library is committed to providing the community with high-quality education. However, resource constraints impede the acquisition of new material.
Welcome to children's section. Our collection is small, but though the collection is small, but we have so many books inside. So many books. Yes, so many books. They can just read their own. They bring their own books, use them, and also they exchange with their friends.
During holidays, the library attracts children from the surrounding area who come to read and learn. The shelves are replete with books spanning a diverse range of genres and themes, including timeless classics like Alice in Wonderland. Children are encouraged to explore the library and its offerings, with many of them clutching books in their hands. The library is a haven for children seeking knowledge and inspiration, with walls adorned with colorful charts and drawings. The library is filled with books catering to all interests and reading levels, including works of fiction and non-fiction, and covering a broad spectrum of topics. The audiovisual section is the audiovisual section of the library. The audiovisual section is equipped with specialized software and materials designed to make content. The audiovisual section is equipped with specialized software and materials designed to make the content accessible to people with disabilities. Staff members in the audiovisual section provide assistance in using tapes, CDs, and braille material to aid people with disabilities. The library serves children from the surrounding community, and this gentleman emphasizes the importance.
Yeah, basically what we normally do is that we do the acquisition of the term, maybe order of buying information materials. So what normally happens is that At the beginning of the financial year, for instance,
Yes.
we do request orders. We send memos to schools
Yes.
so that they forward what they require in the given program, ranging from all the schools to the university.
Yes.
Since now we are not into the School of Children's Library, we now concentrate on School of Education because mainly we procure books when they use for teaching practice, for instance. So the procedure is normally the same. As I have told you, the beginning of the financial year, we send all the memos to deans so that they list down what they require. Once we have received the list, we forward it to procurement because everything goes as a policy, procurement policy. So we forward the list to procurement, the source for vendors or the suppliers. Once the suppliers have received the order, they will call us again back to procurement so that we go and verify actually what we order is the correct list as per our. So once that is done, then they give an okay for the suppliers to deliver. Once the items have been delivered, again they call us again to procurement. We go now and verify one by one. Once that is done, the items are brought to the library. Once they're in the library now, we start what we call processing. And processing entails we pick the one going to children's library, other going to branch library, so that we go into the open shelves. But since you are basically the one going to the children's library, we place them in an annexation register. An annexation register. In the annexation register, we place the date, which was when we received the letter. Then the next thing is the accession number. The accession number is a number assigned to that particular item. Each item has got a distinct number. We call it accession number. A number, like admission number in that case. Then the author, then the title, the supplier. The supplier is where the book is sourced from, and then the price, and then this was the remarks. And the remarks will see that this one is going to special. The one going to children indicate children's library. So that at any time that book got lost or we can still trace where it is. Yeah. So once that is done, we do now stamping. We put the ownership stamp and then ownership. Yeah. You see this stamp. University, Library, and then the barcode number, the same number, one in the application. Yeah, this one now is a distinct register. Then now we indicate again where the book is going to children, we indicate to the council of children, so that the people will be entering into the database, that specific menu. So once that is done, the books are taken to the next place whereby they enter into the database.
Yeah.
We have a database called Koha. That is the software we use, Koha. So they will enter it into the database, and then before they enter into the database, they will allocate an accession number, a call number. A call number is this number. In library, we call it a call number. This call number is a number denoting the subject and the title. You see this, where it has been summarized. This is MTL, it is going to MTL. BR is the subject. And then this is the number now for the specific subject. For the specific theological, this one denotes that subject. And this is the broader number. You see? And then now the year. And then this is the kata number. The kata number in librarianship is the number assigned for the author. You see Shale, so we normally put the surname. And then we place it here. You see there is an S somewhere. S53. S stands for the first name. S. And then these are the numbers we derived from. There is a schedule we use in catalog to denote the second letter and the third. So this one is you now when retrieving. So when you be looking for this, instead of you going to the title, you just key in the title and then you will be devoted to this number. Then from there it will be easily accessible in the shell. Instead of you now looking for that particular title, so you will pick this number, then you'll be able to retrieve. So once that is done, we use a subject heading. We call this Library of Congress classification scheme. But for the children library, we use what we call Dewey Decimal Classification. Maybe you have been told about Dewey. Yeah, Dewey Decimal Classification. That one is the class number used for children. And we have a term here. Library, children's library books. Not like the other one they were using Library of Congress for the time. But for children, we use Dewey. This one is a bit simplified. Why? Because it is really accessible for it and they use For instance, we are looking for a book on local government. That goes to the 352. That's finding books on local governments are there. So we use Dewey Decimal Classification. And then they are dispatched. You don't just pick them and take them there. The librarian in charge of children will come and sign the session register to show that those books are being received in children's library. So that we finish that process now. And then the rest now it will come to us how they process the payment. We had asked that question about the children. It's a question you asked.
You have to remind me.
Yeah, about that it's how the children's stuff and they are used for students for more university. Yes, that is true. Mostly books, if you go to children, you find out there are these books on education. And they are mainly used by students pursuing education. Yeah, you'll find them in children's library. Yeah.
We are looking also into the future of the children's library.
Yes.
Now, given that it serves School of Education and the children themselves,
Yes. Yeah.
so the move to CBC, how will it affect maybe positioning or?
Yeah, we can't move to CBC now. I think now we are waiting for a way forward because so that we have the new materials. I know it will come because that is where we are heading to. So once that is brought forward, then we have to drift to that. We move to that. We will receive the new information materials they require. We are waiting for it to be told that these are the new information material for this program. So, but for now, we are still working on what we have. But we are anticipating that once the programs are ready, they will forward the list to us so that we do the procurement.
What do you think are the challenges you face in positioning CBC materials?
For now, we have not received any CBC for that information, and I think when you are there, you didn't find any CBC. We have not yet received because first we have to make orders, and the orders it follows that process. It takes about maybe 1 or 2 to 3 months before we receive the feedback. So we are yet to notify the schools. Then we receive the list, then from there it goes to procurement, and then now the orders will begin. So, but for now, we have not received the orders. But we are anticipating that before the financial year, because we normally do the procurement plan by March. By March, we forward now the procurement plan for what we require. So once we forward now we just wait the list and then it is factored in. Yeah.
what we normally do, we register them. We have a form. We write the name of the parent and then the child's name. And then we have the address. And then we write the PF number. And then the station where the parent is working. We have various departments, maybe School of Engineering, Information Science, School of Education. After that, there is a small card like this one. We write the name of the child, and then we have the name of the parent. Then we have PF number. And at the back of this card, there is a unique barcode to show that each child should have his own or her own unique number. That is the function of the barcode. So maybe I'll show you how to lend. How to lend. So what this child is registered. Add something here. So, in the barcode, J, that is junior. This one, J represents junior. And then we have a 00, 63, 2. Yes, and then I process. Amerejestiwa, so imekataa kufanya nini? Kumlend, kwa sababu assume you are an undergraduate, so after 4 years if you want to lend the book to the same user, you will see something like this: user registration expired, because you have information. Sasa hii kadi tunaipia kwa sababu tunaipia hatujui, maybe sasa user alishamaliza shule, time yake imefanya nini, ile. So unaona inakataa user registration expired. That is how we want. Kama hizi vitabu za picha zenye watoto wadogo wanaweza kusoma. Kama hii sasa, hizi ni picture books na ziko na stories. Yes. Kama huyu sasa mdogo hivi, anaweza soma huyu mdogo. And the writings are big. Yes. Anaweza kuona. Yes. Na kusoma. Kama huyu amekuwa advanced kidogo, huyu anaonekana mkubwa kidogo. Yeah. We have this one. Si unaweza kusoma hii? Yes. Yeah.
jungle.